I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
Arizona Sunshine is one of those landmark titles that everyone should experience once if you're into VR or just getting into VR. I love mowing down hordes of undead, blasting heads, arms, and legs off, especially with a buddy. It's just a simple, straightforward, but an impactful game for and was a massive hit for VR as a whole. Arizona Sunshine 2 really does have a lot to carry on its shoulders with a legacy that the first one had. The original was released back in 2016. God, I'm getting old.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
It did have its issues, but it was garnished with extreme praise overall. With another zombie horde shooter you might have heard of, After the Fall. While After the Fall didn't land initially like Arizona did, at first due to technical issues and lack of maps, the game made a turnaround with content drops and updates. But with two excellent zombie shooters under their belt, can Arizona Sunshine... Oh my god. Can Arizona Sunshine 2 bring the same wow factor like it did back in 2016? Our story begins like anybody's would, a protagonist waking up in a small, smelly, garbage-infested, empty beer bottle-filled little trailer. After getting a taste of old meat and sharpening our shooting skills... I fucking can't, man. After getting a taste of old meat and sharpening our shooting skills, we hear a military helicopter flying overhead, crashing into an adjacent parking garage. Armed with only a pistol and sausages, we head over to the crash site, meeting our second furry protagonist, Buddy.
Nice to meet you, little guy. Want to be friends?
Finding Buddy and hearing a message from the dead helicopter pilot on something called Patient Zero, the first infected. From here, it's a man and his dog on an adventure to find Patient Zero. What more really could you ask for? I guess our main protagonist is talking to every zombie, making decisions on what to do, and referring it all as Freddy.
Oh no, Freddy. What have you done to yourself? That's some embarrassing shit, man.
Except he doesn't call Buddy Freddy, he calls Buddy because, you know, he's the bestest boy.
Of course!
As far as stories go, this is one of my favorites. Extremely well written, fantastic dialogue that had me busting a gut, great set locations, extreme set piece moments for you to play, incredibly highs and lows in terms of an emotional spectrum for good measure. It's really superb stuff for a game about shooting the undead and eating burgers and old pizzas that you find lying around with your dog. That is really something special about the game, and just how much you can interact with the world. From eating sausages and old burgers, playing with the switches on stoves, opening drawers, moving bottles and objects with your hands, lighting up a fat stogie, right down to you and Buddy wearing funny hats while you push him in a shopping cart, killing Freddies. It's really quite impressive and reminds me a lot of Half-Life Alyx for levels of interactivity, to some degree at least. It really allows you to get into the post-apocalyptic vibe of you're just some dude going around with your dog, checking mailboxes, building a bond with him. Buddy really is more than a cute face though. He will attack Freddy's looking to attack you, or you can command him to attack specific targets, which is necessary for bigger, more armored enemies. He can gather keys, move bodies, locking doors that you come across, holding up two small weapons on his little backpack that he wears, and like I said, sitting in a shopping cart wearing funny hats. I just really can't get over that.
Hey, make sure you drive straight, Fred. No falling asleep at the wheel down there.
It's incredible stuff here, and it fits the tone of a guy that has completely lost all touch of reality, finding companionship with a dog. I mean, come on, look at that face. Outside of Buddy for attacking, you're able to use a variety of weapons at your disposal that are broken down into 4 different categories: handgun, assault rifle, shotgun, and flame explosive. It's really nice to have all the weapons, from the pistols right down to the shotgun, turn the rotting bodies into chunks. The shotgun especially is effective and fun to use. They really work and feel like a shotgun should. Effective at long range. Like, there's nothing better than looking down the hall, blasting a pile of them in a row with a shotgun. It is just, man, it's chef's kiss. Holy moly. You can take any weapons you like and just pick up the 4 different categories of ammo you find lying around. For instance, you found a revolver and you want to use that as your main. It doesn't matter if you find handgun ammo or revolver ammo. It's the same pool type of ammo, adding to the total count. Make sense? Just like finding flame containers for the flamethrower or shells for the grenade launcher. It's the same pool of ammo. It's really nice not limiting you to a specific type of weapon and letting you choose how you want to play. You do come across these arts and craft boxes that use up different materials like glue and metal that you find lying around to craft 4 different types of explosives, but I never really found a time when I used it at all that well, so at the end of the game I was loaded with all these materials. You can hold these explosives in your wrists along with food. You can hold up to 2, but I just didn't really bother until closer to the end of the game. And oh yeah, we can't forget about those melee weapons too.
Oh, nice work, Fred.
You can't holster these, and they do break after a few hits, but making a connection, hearing that impact when you get the blade into a zombie, or a Freddy I should say, and feel the pull on the controller and just the feedback, pulling that out in the sound, and hearing that pop while you're shooting another Freddy that's coming towards you. It just, man, it is so satisfying, and it puts such a smile on a person's face. And that's the thing, man. That sound of pulling a blade out of a Freddy's head is some of the best sound I've heard in a VR game. You've got great sounding guns, impactful melee sounds, the smushy sound of Freddy's being downed, Buddy's panting and barking, waiting for you to follow him, the little sounds that dog makes when he's happy or when he's just really wants you to throw the ball is really impactful stuff here. I think it really helps that the guy you play as doesn't have a fucking annoying voice and annoying dialogue either. The dialogue is superb in this. His voice is all you really hear most of the time during the whole game, in terms of talking at least. Eating an old burger and hearing him talk while he's eating the food, right down to the eating ass reassurance he wants, is just, it's fucking great stuff. Yes, I said that correctly. Guy talks about eating ass in this game. It's just gold writing.
Airport security just ain't the same without some TSA guy gently pressing my penis with the back of his hand. Oh my gosh. Oh, that smells like recycled condoms. Paws and claws. It's so weird how humans have a special store where we get our favorite animals' nuts chopped off. And where do all those nuts go, man? Is there some massive landfill filled up with old dog nuts? I guess if there was, we could probably smell it, right?
Stop it. Get some help.
But aside from all that, the ambient sounds and music really set the mood and tone for parts of the game. 2 areas that come to mind are closer to the end of the game and on top of a gas station surrounded by Freddy's. Seeing and hearing the undead, the fire and the smoke burning in the sky, it feels like it was inspired by that old Dawn of the Dead movie with Vin Rames, I think it is.
Don't be an idiot. Please, there's people here right now could use your help.
Fuck y'all.
It just really sets the tone and how desolate this area is. And there's nothing better than being on top of that gas station and just popping heads off with your rifle. Now, it sounds like I've been doing nothing but jerk the game off and proclaim it's the second coming or something like that. But I do have some major issues, at least with the PSVR2 version. I can't speak for the other versions that I do have. For starters, the game looks gorgeous most of the time. From the heat coming off a car, you can see that, sand rolling in during a sandstorm, and the lighting or particles rolling through that light, to just down to how many Freddys can be on screen at once. It's really impressive stuff here. I mean, let alone that each Freddy almost seems different. Like, there's so many character models for these zombies that it's incredible to see, and how dismembered they can be. It's outstanding stuff. But then other times the game can look just bad. Like right here. What is that? I can see where the level ends. Our guy says a sandstorm is rolling in, so why not have something blocking this view? We can see the edge of the map here.
It does look like shit.
Or here, where I can see the level load and reload depending on where I am standing. What's up with that? The game and moments in the game can look so good, so great, that when you see something and is really off, it really stands out. You know what I mean?
He's right, you know.
Another issue I had was the game crashed 5 times on me. 5. 2 times when I was running away from a horde, trying to get to the end of the level, and I looked back, crashed. Another time I was fighting a wave of Freddies by a pool. I threw a mine down to, kill them when they approached me, shot the mine, game crashed. Other 2 times I had finished the level and bam, crashed. And normally I wouldn't make a huge deal about this, but this happened each time I played these parts. I just had to make sure I didn't look back at the hordes or I didn't, shoot the mine. For some reason I think it was just too taxing what was going on. It would just crash the game. At least that's my guess on what's happening here. And again, I'm not sure this has to do with the PSVR2 version itself, but it seems to be an issue that definitely needs some attention because this stuff just shouldn't be happening. By the way, for anyone saying where's the footage, I record directly on the PS5, so once the game crashes, the footage isn't saved anymore for some reason. It's really annoying, but that's why it's not there.
This is bullshit!
Another area that didn't quite feel right was the holster and reloading system. I played a ton of After the Fall, another game by Vertigo Games. In that game, you fight tons of undead hordes. The reloading and the holster mechanics are the same from what I can tell. But in this game, I couldn't fully get the feel of it down. Like, I played the game with the pull the guns up towards you without reaching for them on the sides of your holsters for a while. I found it more annoying than anything else, so I switched back from grabbing from the holster itself. Sometimes I would grab them as expected, but other times I would be grabbing it, but it wouldn't work. I've played VR games long enough that this kind of stuff is expected at times, but not being able to grab a gun in a heated moment and also not being able to pull the slide back when you're reloading the gun for whatever reason was incredibly frustrating at one point. Like right here at the dam. I mean, this part here, I was playing really bad, but at the same time, I kept trying to grab my gun and I just couldn't do it. I'm not sure if it needs a patch or what, but incredibly annoying. And yes, I know you can hit a button for the slide, but I like to pull back the slide myself. I just find it more engaging. It's there, so I should be able to do it. That should be kind of like my choice how I want to play.
My choice!
If both those functions are there. Also, sliding back the shotgun or sliding back the revolver into place just never felt right. It just felt really off, like it wasn't responsive when I did the motion. Sometimes it would happen, sometimes it wouldn't. But hopefully a patch will address this. Lastly, as for the length of the game, this is one of my other, I'll say, issues with the game. It took me about 6 hours playing the game on the recommended medium settings to beat the game. I'm not a fast guy when it comes to games. I don't rush to be first or anything like that. I just want to go through the game and enjoy the experience. That's the type of person I am. That time was with the game crashing, me exploring almost every place, looking for supplies and special items that you can find throughout the world. You do have a horde mode here, which is pretty standard in my opinion. That and the story can be played with 2 players in the campaign and up to 4 people in the horde mode. And to clarify, the total completion time of my 6 hours was just for the campaign. I really didn't spend any time on the horde mode. I didn't find it engaging enough.
Yeah, you suck. Yeah, you just fucking suck. Blows my mind that somebody like this not only exists, but also...
I was hoping for more of a After the Fall style where you can unlock weapons and change the colors of them or put attachments on them and stuff of that. None of that's here. So if you were expecting something like that from After the Fall to be implemented in here, it isn't here. So just so you're aware of that. And it's obvious I have no footage of that because I couldn't join any games and all that stuff, like I said. And I have no friends to play with. So yeah, it kind of seems to be a running theme with this channel of me saying that.
Very good, boy.
All that being said, though, I in no way regret the purchase of this game, even though the price of the standalone version is $69.99 plus tax and $79.99 for the deluxe edition. I would recommend that you get the standard edition if you're going to pick this up. The little cosmetic things, for the extra $13 for the deluxe edition, I don't think are really worth it. You can't really see them unless you're playing with somebody aside from the zombie hands, like biker dog jacket that you can get for Buddy. It's only $13, but it's your money. You do what you want with it. I'm just some guy on a mic, right? And the asking price for the game, it is a lot, but we really get a phenomenal single player VR experience. And that's really what I personally love. I love single player experiences. I do love the multiplayer scene, but for me, a story-driven single player campaign, I'm all here for that. And even at 6 hours, it was, to me, worth it. Because for me, I feel like we need more VR games at this level that feel and play like a proper VR game should play. Let me interact with the world. Let me reload. There was that weird stint where where games were just having the auto reload. I don't want that. I don't think a lot of people that love VR want that. Let us interact with the world, do things in the world, and enjoy playing in VR. I mean, petting Buddy is an incredible little thing to do in VR. So I'm happy to support this level of polish, even with the technical issues I had and gameplay, interactivity that I seen here, to see more games like this in the future. This really has anything to do with Arizona Sunshine. It's just a thank you to anybody that has been watching my videos for a while. I want to apologize for the lack of content in the past couple of weeks. I've been trying to do some stuff here and there, but I'm transitioning jobs and it's been a lot more work than I ever anticipated, but things are starting to finally settle down again. It's been a roller coaster, but I appreciate your support. I'll try to give you as much content as I can here, as quickly as I can, with the same level of polish that I kind of demand of myself. But until next time, I appreciate your time, and I'll see you later.
I could stick my nose up people's asses without my brother-in-law calling the police. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I think if we drive at 88 miles per hour while we pee in the same fountain, physics dictates we swap. So, let's complete our current mission first, but then let's talk about getting a swap going here.
After getting a taste of old meat and sharpening our shooting skills, I fucking can't, man.